Okay, about to go stream and take us down. Oh, you know what? I wanted to. This was off, right? Yeah, this is very off. I don't know why it got so big and out of position. Okay. Okay. Well, I took it off of the go live thing, so I guess we'll just get started. Let's do some atmosphere music here. Like, we're gonna try this one, Voices of the Cosmos. I guess we should do the introductory thing first, even though I stream to an audience of literally 0 people. But my name is Alexis, also known as Mute Banshee, depending on what circles I'm in. Obviously, Mute Banshee is in my online circles, while Alexis is in my real life circles. This is my solo play actual stream thing. This is the 3rd episode in my playthrough of Starforged. Last episode, I really struggled against the system. And this episode, I've done a lot of thinking about that since yesterday, and I've done some extra reading, and I've done some discussing with other people, and I think I'm maybe in a better place. And there's a couple of things I've done between this session and the last. The first is that I redid both of my path assets. The ones that I had, I wasn't using. I don't think they were right for the story that I'm telling here. So I discarded those, and then I took Blade Master, which is just exactly like it is in the path asset. And then I took Archer, but I renamed it Cannon Specialist and gave it the requirement that if you use a vehicle with plasma weapons, um, this is just a little bit more what my character's been doing. Harmony's been fighting a lot of monsters and things like that. Um, this is interesting. Your lumbering rig houses one pilot, is sealed against hostile environments, is armed with fixed or held weapons. When you make a forceful, damaging, or resistant move, you may, after rolling, replace the value of your action die with the rig's integrity. If you do lose momentum. That's fascinating. I didn't realize that. I really haven't been using my assets, like, even a little bit. And so this is something that, I don't know, I've brought up. The other thing that I've really been struggling with, especially on these exploration moves, maybe not on the exploration moves, but up here on like gather information. I don't know. There's a lot of places where I feel I'm really being held back by my wits only having one. I don't want to rebuild my character. I don't want to flavor that she has better wits than she does. But we have got this artificial intelligence working for us. And one of the things that you can use with your connections is you can take a +1 bonus when they help you with something. And so in the future, if I remember, which a little bit is a big if, but if I remember, if I tell Discord to search for something, I'm going to add a +1 to it because it really is Discord that's doing the searching. Let's think about where we ended last night. We had the encounter with wow, my words. We had the encounter up on top of the hill where there was the Sorrow Steel monument. It was wrapped in alien languages that spiraled up and around the monument. The monument almost looked like a piece of coral with like a central platform and then 5 almost coral-like branches spiraling up into the air. She tried to climb it at one point and scraped her hand on the surface. And when she did, the blood touched the Sorrow Steel, and all of that writing, all of that alien writing spiraling around the surface of the monument lit up in a soft silver light. Argonia also felt the effects of the Sorrow Steel, having a flashback of her dead friend. And we left her inside Discord, curled up in the fetal position. And if we look at the progress on things, I'm also changing this vow. Instead of finding the high place, it's find the right place. Because we have found a high place to put the radio tower, but it resonated with the Sorrow Still, and it drew these creatures, these alien creatures. And so this is not a vow, it's an expedition, and I don't know its progress. But I tried to resolve it and I failed. But I tried to resolve it because of a system problem. Like, I was struggling against the fact that I had found the high place, and so like I was like, well, I've got to where I'm going. I need to resolve this. But it had only been filled with 2 boxes. And I was really frustrated. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't resolve it mechanically when I had in the fiction. And that's because it wasn't the right place. And we kind of came to that conclusion at the end of the last session because of the sorrow steel and the jellyfish monsters. Yeah, we found a place that was high, but it wasn't the right place. And so I'm going to pretend that I didn't try to resolve that, only because that was a lack of understanding of the system. The morning happens. Argonia wakes up because we've got these 31-hour days. She wakes up and it's still dark outside. And it's been 2 of these 31-hour days now since she left Dusk Song. And this morning she's thinking about what Kira Nisar was talking about. That's her general, her military commander. And Kiri had pulled Harmony aside and said, "Look, you have to do this fast. It has to be done, but the longer you are gone, the longer Dusksong is without the protection of Discord, and that leaves us vulnerable. So you have to be fast." And this hasn't been particularly fast. The swamp that they are in is gigantic. It took her a long time to get out of that and into this tropical rainforest, into this jungle. And then with everything, it hasn't been fast. And so we're going to continue the expedition, and we're just going to push forward. And we may skip a bunch of these waypoints that we find. Not skip them, like not talk about them, but we may knock it out and explore them and things because we're losing time. Also, undertake an expedition requires either edge, shadow, or wits. I've been using iron because in my head she was smashing her way through the landscape in this giant mech and things, but now speed is her priority, and so I am going with edge, and this may leave her a little off guard if something bad happens. So let's go ahead and make our roll. We're going to do plus edge. That's our best roll. A weak hit. You reach a waypoint, but this progress costs you. Envision the location and mark progress per the rank of the expedition, but choose one. And one of the things I'm doing with this game is using the book Songs for the Dusk, which is a game about rebuilding community in a post-apocalypse. And I've been using it as kind of a oracle here, and I want to do that. So instead of rolling on the oracles here, I'm going to roll a couple of things on that book. And so first, get a 4, which means we're moving to here. Get a 1. The oracle I've gotten is the top part of the 32nd page on this. And the idea is that I read a little bit of this and then kind of interpret it here. And it says, if you try and push on the world, you can be sure it will push back. Dangerous situations, hostile forces, and simple bad luck can inflict consequences on your character. I'm going to roll a d3 and decide if this is a dangerous situation, a hostile force, or bad luck. It is a dangerous situation. So I think this is a landscape hazard. And it's got to be a big enough hazard that, it affects Discord. It affects my giant mech. And so I think here we're racing through the jungle. Our head sticks up out of the trees a little bit, but I think we're crouched down a little bit to get more speed. Our vision is undercut a little bit. A lot of our HUD is blocked by foliage and branches and things like that. We see wildlife scattering as I just race through the jungle. And then there's a deep, deep crevasse in the ground, a canyon. I think it's a canyon with a river running through it at the bottom. Um, and we don't notice it until we're already stepping over it. I'm going to make a suffer cost move here at either -2 or -1. And this is withstand damage when your vehicle faces a damaging situation or environment. Suffer -1 integrity for minor damage or -2. So I am going to push my integrity down to 3, and that is bad. Discord says, Harmony, alert! There is a cliff ahead. And Harmony tries to pull Discord up, but is unable to do so. And we go crashing and rolling down the side of this cliff. This giant 2, maybe even 3-story tall mech just shook, 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 shook. There's a sound of crunching metal, and it's bad. And then we land by splashing into this river. And it's a big river. I think it's almost a Mississippi River type big river. So big that we can see the other side of it, but just barely, and only because it ends in another cliff edge. And warning lights start coming up. Harmony, now sending damage report. Multiple systems damaged. Integrity at 50%. And Harmony's going, shit, shit, shit. I can't afford this. I can't afford this. Fuck. Discord. We have to do something. We have to get back up there. We can't stay down here. And Discord says, the cliff faces are very tall. Even with our boots, I am unsure if we can make it up. And Harmony says, well, we have to try. And real quick, before we get into that, we reach a waypoint. So I am going to mark progress on find the right place. However, now that we're down, we're going to Harmony kind of ignores Discord's advice and is going to try to climb this cliff. And I'm not sure what move this is, because it's not very likely that this is going to work. I think I'm just going to roll plus iron, because I don't know what like a climbing check is here. It might be face danger. Yeah, I think this is face danger, and we're going to try to roll it with plus iron here. And I miss. And when I miss, I fail, or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. We're going to pay the price. The most negative outcome happens. The most obvious negative outcome happens. So, I mean, let's roll. You waste resources? Yeah. Um, Harmony's like, I don't have time for this. Discord, we have to get back up there. All right, Harmony. Activating thrusters. And the fiery thrusters at the bottom of Discord's feet activate, and they go shooting up out of the water. But this isn't flight, this is like boosting. And so Harmony flies Discord into the edge of the opposite cliff, aiming to like hold on to it and pull herself up by force of will up the top of this. But she's in a giant mech. It's not designed for climbing. And she's about 3/4 of the way up when it goes crashing down again. Um, and we're going to take another hit to our integrity, bringing it down to 2. And Discord kind of stumbles back down and says, Harmony, integrity at 20%. Please be careful, or I will be ineffective until I am repaired. And Harmony's cursing, shit, shit, shit. And she says, ideas? And Discord says, it seems like there is only one idea left. Choose either right or left. And Harmony growls in frustration. She's supposed to be fighting a high place, and now she's in like the lowest of low places. And how is this so much lower than everything else, anyways? There was that swamp, and that was up above us. Are we on. Did we crash land on some sort of like plateau or something? That's interesting. Argonia turns Discord to the left. And I think they're going to go upstream. Water always flows down, which means going upstream means going up. Maybe the canyon will level out at some point and she can climb back up. All right, so that didn't go amazing. But we're just going to go ahead and keep making this undertaken expedition. And this is still plus edge. She's still pushing herself, pushing things to go fast, and probably being a little bit unwise about it in the process. I just rolled a miss. On a miss, you are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and instead pay the price. Let's roll on my oracle to figure out what that looks like. We're moving on to page 40. The major difference between current actions and flashback is that there's a stress cost to invoke a flashback. I don't know. An ordinary action for which you had an easy opportunity. This isn't doing anything for me. I really want this book to be a good oracle, but it's so many rules and not a lot about flavor. Okay, I have to go use the restroom. So I am going to step away for just a second. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to think about what this miss looks like. All right, sorry about that. Pro streamer leaves stream 20 minutes in to go to the bathroom. Ha 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 ha. We were talking about this miss. And I actually think that I'm going to burn my momentum to make this a hit. And I love the idea that we are on a plateau. I think if we had followed the river in the other direction, it probably would have led out to just a magnificent waterfall. But that's not what we did. We followed the river upstream instead. I think that the canyon walls get lower and lower until we finally come out onto a lake, and it is gorgeous. And we are, because we got a strong hit, we mark progress, envision the location and mark progress. So it's this absolutely beautiful lake. I think it's evening as we are approaching. It's been another day, and days are burning away on this quest. But we've gone a lot further than we ever could have imagined that we'd need to go. And a little bit in the back of Harmony's mind, she's thinking back to when they first set out and wondering if they'd gone a different direction, would they have reached the right place for the radio tower before that? She isn't sure. But for now, they're at this lake. And the lake is it's big. It's like, I don't know that it's like Lake Michigan Great Lake sized, but it is large. You can't see to the other end of it. It's just the water stretching out to the horizon with the jungle growing up around it. And in the surface, which is like a mirror, we can see, I think, like a sunset. I think the sun is setting, and so we get these colors rippling across the water's surface, and 2 of the 4 moons are in the sky reflected here. And we get the image of, again, this giant mech standing at the mouth of this river, up to its, I think up to its knees in water, looking out over this lake. And Discord says, Harmony, are you thinking about stopping? And Harmony says, no, I know it's getting dark, but we have to keep going. We've lost too much time already. Discord says, okay, Harmony, whatever you decide. And Harmony is going to push forward. But we have navigated our way out of the canyon, and I do think that that counts as overcoming a critical obstacle. And I am going to mark progress on my vow. We push on through the night, and we are still moving at speed. I've got no more momentum to burn, and this is still incredibly dangerous. And I actually think I'm going to take a -1 to this roll here, because I shouldn't be doing this. Harmony should absolutely stop and wait until it's light again. We literally just crashed into a canyon because we weren't being careful enough. And we're still not being careful. So I am going to give this a -1. This is edge. I got a 4 versus a 6 and a 2. It's a 3 versus a 6 and a 2. That's still a weak hit. We reach a waypoint, so we're going to mark progress. And I think this time we're going to face peril. Let's think about what kind of peril this might be. Like a story complication? Roll twice. Key location is threatened or made unsafe. Time pressure suddenly increases. Okay. I thought this peril was going to be like a monster or something, but that's not it at all. Let's think about what this waypoint looks like. So we skirt the edge of the lake, and then Harmony says, Discord, just make sure we're going in a somewhat vertical direction. Just whatever slope is the most vertical, we're going that way. And Discord lights those up, and they're just little slopes and things, but Discord lights the HUD up so that Harmony knows what direction to go, plotting a course through the jungle. And as we are going, Discord says, Harmony, I have some information that is important to you. And Harmony says, okay, what is it? If you check your damage report, you will see that my power supply was damaged. At this rate, I only have 10 hours left until I am out of power. And Harmony looks at it and curses again. And now we don't even have until morning to not only find the right place, but to also get the radio tower up. Because if we find the right place, but Discord is out of power, then they're not going to have the strength or the power to get the radio tower up. We need Discord. That's the whole point of bringing Discord out here, is because it could act as a construction mech. So time is suddenly very important. And they still aren't in the right place. But we are at 8 out of 10 now. And now that I understand the system a little bit better, I do think I want to... I guess we're going to take the move one more time. And that should pretty much get us to where we need to go. What does finish an expedition say? Yeah, no, I think that, like, we're not going to do the undertake an expedition. Harmony looks at the damage report and says, okay, so we have to find the place to put the radio tower up as soon as possible. Discord, maybe we just have to put it up. Maybe... And she starts doing some thinking, and she says, Discord, can you answer a question for me? And Discord says, I can try, Harmony. What is your question? Well, we crash landed in a swamp. A swamp should be at sea level, right? Typically, that is the case. If that's at sea level, then how is there such a deep canyon? Well, canyons can exist below sea level depending on the terrain, but it is unusual. The most likely scenario is, and we're going to gather information here. And because we're using Harmony, we get a +1 to this, which is a 4, which is a weak hit instead of a miss. The information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. The most likely scenario is that we are on some sort of plateau. The swamp is not at sea level at all, and the flowing water has had time to work its way through the rock. Okay. Well, maybe that means that we are high enough where we're at. Maybe Dusksong was high enough. Maybe this whole thing was unnecessary and I never should have left in the first place. Could that be true? Lots of things can be true, Harmony. I do not know if this one is, but it is possible. What percentage would you give it? How likely is it that we're on a plateau up high? Given the things we have experienced, I anticipate that would be a 79% likelihood. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Um we haven't seen any giant creatures around. Can you scan for any of that strange metal that we found? The one at that, I don't know, monument structure thing? You know the one. I know what you're talking about, Harmony. Can you scan for some of that? Of course. And Discord does, and it just comes back and she says, there is none of that metal registering within my sensor range. However, without a radio signal, my sensor range is limited. But even with that, I do not think, even if there was some, that it would be enough to resonate with the radio signal. Okay. Well, I'm just going to get this up. I can't afford to take more time. If you're going to power down. Oh, you're going to power down and the radio tower is going to be up. But I'm going to be... And chills go down her back. And she says, Discord, how many miles have we traveled? We left Dusksong behind about 452 miles ago. And the reality of that hits like a wall. They are not going to be able to get home in time. And Discord is going to end up powering down, leaving Harmony, leaving Argonia out here in the middle of nowhere. to walk 450 miles back home on a path that without help she'll probably get lost trying to retrace. And she's suddenly filled with dread. But we are going to roll to resolve the find the right place, because this has to be the right place. We've got 8 out of 10 here. That's an 80% chance, and we're going to roll it. Strong hit with a match. What does that do? When you finish an expedition, on a strong hit, you reach your destination or complete your survey. Mark a reward on your Discovery's legacy track per the expedition's rank. This was dangerous. So I get 2 ticks on my Discovery's track. Any allies on a miss? I don't think this is exactly how it works, but this is reaching a milestone here. We are completing a perilous expedition, so we get to mark progress on the radio tower. And then I'm also going to let us mark progress one more time because we hit with a match. And so now we're at 5 out of 10 on this. Harmony pilots Discord. They start, digging the holes they need to put this communications tower down in the ground. And I need a way to fill this up a couple more steps. This is, again, feeling like I'm fighting the system a little bit here because, I just want to get the radio tower up and roll to resolve this vow. I mean, this is what it's going to be. I'm going to get the radio tower up and turn it on. And we're going to find out if it makes a connection with the communications tower back at Dusksong or not. Is the communications tower at Dusksong on? I'm making this a 50-50 check. It is not. And that is information. That's a meaningful insight. We're going to mark progress. They spend, I think it takes them about 5 hours to get the radio tower up. They traveled throughout the night, and the nights here are long, so it's still the middle of the night as the top of the radio tower starts to glow brighter and then dim and then bright and then dim again. And Harmony braces herself, waiting for the appearance of some of those jellyfish monsters or something worse drawn by this radio signal, by this communications signal, and nothing. It seems to be working. And Harmony says, Discord, can you establish contact with Dusksong? Checking now. Establishing connection with communications tower. Connection established. Seeking out other communications towers. No communication towers in range. I am sorry, Harmony. If the tower back at Dusksong was up, I would be able to turn it. I would be able to make a connection. We are not so far away that our communication technology cannot reach each other. So you're saying that the tower back at Dusksong isn't on? Yes, that is what I'm saying, Harmony. The tower at Dusksong is inactive. And I think that what this means, we've got the radio tower up, but communications have not been established. And actually, I'm going to change this vow to I vow to get the radio tower up to I vow to establish communications. Just playing with the wording of my vow a little bit here. That means that we can turn back and we have to go find out why the communications tower at Dusksong still hasn't been built. Obviously, something has gone wrong. Is it something bad enough that Dusksong is gone because Harmony wasn't there to protect it? And how do we get back? We're going to have to try to repair Discord because without Discord, we really can't get back to Dusksong. I'm not sure what that looks like. Is there like a recover mode? Repair right here. So Harmony says, Discord, I'm going to need to get out and look at your power supply. And then I'd like to spend a little bit of time here and make sure that nothing comes to attack the tower. Can you please turn yourself off? Of course, Harmony. Shutting off. Goodbye. And the mech's eyes fade out. And we're going to roll a repair check. I've never done this before. This is plus wits, which is absolutely terrible. And I have got almost no momentum to spare here. I mean, let's just roll it and see what we get. Oh, we can use wits or supply? No, this is wits because supply is obtain repairs from someone else. So this has to be plus wits. Okay, dice gods, if I ever needed you, now is the time. Make this a good roll. A weak hit. Okay. I think a weak hit is fine. You gain repair points as appropriate to the situation. This is in the field, so we gain 1 repair point. We're going to push our integrity back up to 3. Additionally, you may sacrifice resources and exchange each -1 for an extra repair point. I think we're going to do that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to push the integrity all the way back up. Harmony spends hours and hours and hours opening, metal plates to reveal wiring and circuitry underneath, and she's got a solder out and a blowtorch and things. All of this is in the repair kit, which she stashes underneath her seat in the cockpit. And so she is able to get Discord up and running again. And she's tired, but speed is of the essence. And so she gets back into the cockpit and says, Discord, activate, please. And Discord's eyes light up. And says, Hello, Harmony. Ah, repairs seem to have been effective. Power supply repaired. Structural integrity at 100%. You do excellent work. Harmony says, Well, you know they train us to know the machines we pilot, right? Yes, I know. Still, you are to be commended for your ability to do things under pressure. Well, thank you, Harmony. Can you map the way we went? Can you map our course back? Of course. And now that I have access to some communications, I can also do a quick survey of the surrounding area and find out what is going on. And Harmony's like, oh, great. Do that, please. And we're going to gather some information just about, like, the surrounding area, and especially to see if we can get a ping from the broken half of the Dusk Song, the half that we're kind of out here looking for. We're rolling plus wits. We got a +1 to this roll. Yeah, it's a 3. It's a miss. I really feel like I should never try to gather information ever because my character is not good at it and it punishes you so hard. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price. Yeah. So, I think we get a moment of Discord connecting to the communications tower, and then the communications tower kind of pinging. And if this was a video game, we'd see like radio waves moving out in a line through this. But this isn't just radio. We are in a science fiction world. And so it's radio and sensors and communications and just all of this stuff kind of mashed together. And Discord says, Harmony, I am detecting something you should know about. Okay. Did you find the Dusk Song, the missing half? I am afraid not. It is not within my sensor range. Once the tower back in Dusk Song is up, I should be able to use the two together to scan further. But no. Did you know we aren't on a plateau at all? We are on top of some sort of gargantuan creature. A creature? No, that can't be right, Discord. You told me we traveled 400 miles. Yes, I did tell you that, but I can promise you, we are on the back of some sort of gigantic creature. And that is where I am going to end this session. Thank you all for watching. This has been a lot of fun. And I will be back either, tomorrow or the next day or the day after that or whatever. Until next time, this has been Mute Banshee signing off.